Alright, so we are putting a new stator, also known as new alternator, into this Greensmaster here. This is a Greensmaster reel mower. It's a Greensmaster 3150, I believe. It's a Vanguard motor, Briggs Stratton. And we just got the flywheel cover off here, amongst all the other little pieces that go with it. And we're down to the flywheel, and we're about to take this nut off here, and we're gonna have to get some type of pulley to pull this flywheel off, and your alternator should be right behind here. There's going to be a 30mm socket, preferably a black impact socket, but today we're using a chrome cheapie. Alright, that bolt's off. We're going to lube all this up and let it marinate for a minute, have a cup of coffee, and then we'll proceed to pull it off. What do you got there, old nutcracker? Old nutcracker. Alright, so we're getting ready to pull this off. There's a couple of different pulleys you can use on this. The one that we have here is basically out of this clamshell kit, but we're going to use this. Try to put this over there, and we're gonna find two bolts that we can put through here into here, and then we will take our center one here. Basically, this has to go through the center of that first and use that there, but we got to find two bolts to fit on this first. Half. Here we go.
We got to put heat on that. I'm pulling the washers right through.
Alright, so the first attempt to take this off with the pulley was unsuccessful, so we're going to get some big heat, apply some heat to it, and give it another shot. There it goes, popped right off. Glad I had that video going.
That's what you want right there.
So basically we applied all the pressure to the bolts, cranked that in, and with that pressure on there we just added heat. It popped right off, and there is your stator right there. I just sprayed some cleaner in here and blew it off, but you got a Phillips head screw here, one here, one here, and one here. And this shroud is probably gonna have to come off here, because you can, this is your wire that actually feeds through the back over there, which is coming back over here behind the starter. So all that's gonna have to come apart. To get this shroud off, we got a bolt here, you got a bolt up here, you got a bolt up here, and you got a bolt right here. Alright, so these two bolts right here, can't really get a socket in there. So what you're going to have to do is this side too is the same way. So you're going to have to take a nut driver or a Phillips head and take these 4 screws off. You got to get this stator out of the way in order to get to these back bolts on the shroud. Alright, got those 4 bolts out. Now this should just pull off of there. Pull around, and there you have it. Get the stator out of the way. Now you can get to these 2 shroud bolts there. Alright, now you can pull your shroud down out of the way, and you can see the wire from the alternator going behind the starter here. So you're gonna have 2 bolts, one there, one there. You're gonna have to move that starter out of the way to get that wire out. There's 3 ways you could take it off. We tried a 1/2 inch standard and metric, and they still weren't fitting. And there's also a star tip we just took a little pair of adjustables and cracked them loose. Now, we took the bottom one completely out so that we can move this starter around. And if you back the top one out far enough, you can see you can pull that wire right out of there without having to take the starter completely off. And there it is. Pete's just going to clean up the motor so we can put the other stator back on. Basically, to put it back together, you're just going to follow that video in reverse. Put it back together. If I get the time, I will do a comparison video once the new stator's back on to show what the voltage reads then. But that is how you remove the stator / alternator on the Toro Vanguard Briggs Stratton model. Alright, see you next time.